Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Foxy New.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Deontay Wilder's only chance to beat Tyson Fury is with the Lucky Punch, Volume 2. And look, let me just break it down. Teddy Atlas has recently come out and, did an actual podcast where he stated, here's what Deontay Wilder needs to do for Tyson Fury's next fight in the trilogy. And, basically, more or less, he basically stated that he needed to be like Anthony Joshua. He needed to regain his composure. He needed to get his confidence up. He needed to make different adjustments, move his head, move his feet, set up certain shots. This is what Teddy Atlas said. And, while I respect Teddy Atlas as a great trainer, an elite boxing mind, I have to be honest about what I see from Deontay Wilder. And the only chance that he has at beating Tyson Fury in the trilogy is with a lucky punch. That's it. There's nothing else he can do, simply because Deontay Wilder is not Anthony Joshua. He doesn't have the ability to make adjustments. He doesn't have the technical ability or even the ring IQ to pressure or give Tyson Fury a run for his money. He's going to lose the majority of rounds yet again. But let me break it down a little bit further. Why is Deontay Wilder like this? When we take a look at it, we look at Deontay Wilder when he fought Eric Molina. You don't need to be Tyson Fury to hurt Deontay Wilder. Eric Molina did. He wobbled him, rocked him, backed him up. That's what Eric Molina did. But Eric Molina is levels below Tyson Fury. So when you break it down, you see that, lower tier competition Deontay Wilder was struggling with until he landed that right hand. You can't depend on one thing every fight. It will catch up to you. Look at Gerald Washington, El Gallo Negro. When he fought him, Gerald Washington pressured him, put him on the back foot, won a few rounds until he got caught with that lucky right hand. If you look at it like this, you see Luis King Kong Ortiz. In the first fight, Ortiz, most people had Wilder out on his feet. He gave Wilder everything he wanted and more. Most people felt like he was beating Deontay Wilder. The fight should have been called and stopped. I believe it was the 7th round. The interesting thing about this, though, is the referee and the doctor helped Deontay Wilder survive that fight and recover. He came back to stop Luis Ortiz with a lucky punch. So if we look at it, and we got to be honest and unbiased, this is an old Luis Ortiz. A Luis Ortiz who almost identically did what Tyson Fury did. Won pretty much the majority of the fight, came up and pretty much had Wilder out on his feet, but he was saved by the ref and the doctor. Imagine if Luis Ortiz was 2 or 3 years younger. Deontay Wilder would have been out of there. Imagine if Luis Ortiz hadn't been put in the ICU for high blood pressure prior to this fight. Then Deontay Wilder would have been out of there. See, we got to be real about what we're seeing. It doesn't take a top elite level fighter to beat Deontay Wilder. It simply takes a competent one. It simply takes a fighter that's competent and not a journeyman. That's all you need. And look, let me explain this as well. When you look at Tyson Fury, what can Deontay Wilder do, to not end up the way he was in the rematch? What can he do? Is there any chance, any hope for him? Well, when you look at Tyson Fury, you realize that Tyson Fury, he's not invincible. His chin has always been an issue. It's always been a question. If you look back at Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, in the first fight, Deontay Wilder did drop him. He did drop him twice. So you can say that his power is legit, and it did land on Fury's chin, and it did hurt him. So that shows you Wilder can hurt Fury. You also seen Fury hurt by other journeymen, such as, a Steve Cunningham. He was dropped and hurt by him. You also see Tyson Fury hurt by a guy with only 5 knockouts in Nevin Pajic. So you see that Tyson Fury chin has always been suspect. But the problem with that is, even though that's happened, you look at Tyson Fury, he's never fought a fighter like, an Anthony Joshua. He's always been dropped by unskilled fighters, Deontay Wilder, Nevin Pajic, Steve Cunningham, and he's always beaten those fighters. So Deontay Wilder is the least skilled of all of the fighters that have dropped Tyson Fury. That's why he was unable to finish him. He needs to face a fighter that's a complete fighter to beat Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder is not a complete fighter. Deontay Wilder's going to need that lucky punch. He's going to look for that lucky punch. But there's too much for him to learn at 34 years old to beat Tyson Fury at this stage in the game. I mean, look at Deontay Wilder like this. He's too poor technically to take advantage of Tyson Fury's other flaws. You see that How can you beat Tyson Fury? The blueprint is out there. Dillian White has already came out and stated that, he would go to the body and break down Tyson Fury. And that's an accurate assessment, but Deontay Wilder's not skilled enough to do that. Look, think about it like this. Tyson Fury has good and even elite level head movement. And, Deontay Wilder, if he could work the body, he could win the fight. The problem is he's not technically savvy enough to do that. Every time he would go to the body, he'd get countered. He'd get countered again and again and again. 2 years of drinking and taking drugs takes a huge, enormous toll on your body. And that's why Tyson Fury body is wide open for an attack. But Deontay Wilder is too fundamentally flawed to take advantage of it. And then you also see pressure bust pipes. Tyson Fury is no fan of pressure. Otto Wallin displayed that this is nowhere near an elite fighter. This is another guy, a lower tier guy, who pressured Tyson Fury. So showing that if you constantly pressure Tyson Fury, you can give him problems. You can bust open his eye, you can rock him, you can hurt him, you can drop him, you can cause him all kinds of hell. But Deontay Wilder, once again, is not technically savvy enough to do that. Deontay Wilder is going to have to rely on what he's relied on his whole career. One lucky punch from that right hand. And unfortunately for Wilder, it's not likely that it'll land. More than likely, he'll get schooled yet again. But once again, Unbiased as always, it's the IBFP.